Hey guys, welcome back to The Observer, and we are going to be talking about this topic today. And this is something I've been wondering about ever since I have been active on Threads. And if you are not an artist, a non-artist, please also listen to this video because it can help you avoid getting scammed. And I will be talking about this one account, like a user on Blue Sky, I believe to be a scammer, but that is just my opinion, so you make your own judgment. But there will be pictures. Pictures this person claimed to have drawn, and I will show you screenshots, so hopefully that will help you judge for yourself. So, this is what happened. So about 3 weeks ago, I started using Threads, being active on it. And on Threads, I've been seeing talk about authors getting scammed by AI scammers. And I see a new one almost every day. And this is the same thing I've been seeing on X before coming over from X to Threads. And on X, it's almost like this weird, mysterious joke on how authors just keep running into AI scammers. But the artists themselves, they never run into anybody. As in, us artists, we just don't get commissions. But how are these two people meeting? You know, like, are we artists being left out? Because we post our art and we get no clicks. We post our art and nobody says anything. But somehow these AI scammers just keep getting more and more clients. Like, how? So up until last week, I still had no clue how all of these authors just kept on getting scammed. That is until I went on Blue Sky. But first I'll give you some context to make you understand, especially if you're a non-artist, to make you understand how an artist operates online. So as artists, we post our art on social media and we use hashtags or no hashtags, just like whatever. The point is, where there's social media, we'll post art there. And then there are places like Reddit and Discord that have specific spaces that's just for art. And we post our art only in those spaces. There are also places on Reddit and Discord just for art commissions. So we self-advertise there only in those spaces. And we don't do any of these things outside of those spaces in Reddit and Discord. Now, why? Why not? Because if we do, will get banned. And I learned all of this as I was casually doing commissions in 2016, 10 years ago, and until I started doing serious freelancing in 2024. So how did I learn? Well, I learned from the communities I joined, because these communities that were specifically for art commissions, they had rules, you know, so I learned from the rules of these communities, like communities on Reddit and Discord and even Facebook. And also I learned from the way other artists have been doing it before me. So these rules are not just for show, okay guys? These rules protect everybody, both sides. They protect artists from getting scammed and they protect clients from getting scammed. They've been protecting us since way before AI was even a thing. And it tells us that for artists to never trust a client account that is freshly made, with no history of posting before they started looking for artists. So like if I go over to a client profile and I don't see anything there before they started looking for an artist, that's very suspicious. And the same goes for clients when they look at artists and there's nothing there besides the whatever comment or DM they just sent, or just out of nowhere an artist starts posting self-advertisement. That's just suspicious. And some communities even block you from posting if you haven't accumulated enough history of posting, like on Reddit, which is cool. It's safer that way. And these rules also tell clients to only respond to comments first and never go straight into direct messages. Because if the artist couldn't even comment to begin with, that means they are banned from that community. And why were they banned? Most likely, well, it was because they were either a scammer or just overall not good to work with. Like they have a bad reputation, whatever the reason may be. So basically, if you stop communicating in comments and you go straight to DMs, is going to be a bad look for you, because then that makes you suspicious, and nobody wants to work with a suspicious artist. Also, the last one is very simple, and this is the one rule scammers always did and still do even before AI existed, and that is to never share your art or services in spaces that are not looking for it, or like in posts of people who never asked for your services. So this will be like, let's say there's a Discord server, and then there's a space in that Discord server just for art commissions, and there's a space just for talking about like casual real life stuff, just off topic stuff, nothing about commissions. And if you post your services there instead of the art commission space, you'll get banned. And also, if there's someone on social media who's looking for like cool artists to follow, not necessarily to commission, but just to follow, or if there's like someone who's learning about art and they're asking a technical question about something they're struggling with in regards to art, but you advertise your services there, well, you probably won't get banned from social media for that, but that's just bad behavior in general. And whoever made that post and whoever saw that comment of yours doing that would probably ban you from their accounts, so they won't see you again. And that would be a bad thing for artists, for us artists, because we wouldn't want to get banned, you know, like we don't want to get banned. We wouldn't want to gain a bad reputation. But these scammers, they won't care about any of that, especially now that they have AI, because they can just erase their current identity and make up a new one. It's like they have superpowers now. And these rules have been the same since I started doing commissions in 2016. And whichever art community you visit online, the rules will more or less be the same. You just do a little profile check. You can Google them if you have to. Stick to comments first, and then you move on to DMs. But yeah, it sucks how on social media, like just pretty much anywhere outside of Discord and Reddit, like Instagram and X and Blue Sky, there are only super generic rules, you know, like there are no specialized rules that prevent you from getting scammed. And sadly, that is something that I've been witnessing happening to authors. They just keep getting scammed on social media. Like last week, I was on Blue Sky. On my Blue Sky, I have been seeing a lot of American politics for some reason, even though I'm not from America. And I couldn't find many dark fantasy artists to follow, which is what I draw, by the way. Like I do the dark fantasy art, but I just kept seeing American politics. It was ridiculous. So I made a post on Blue Sky, and this is the post right here on the screen. And it's of me asking if there are any dark fantasy artists on Blue Sky, because I wanted to see their art. And I wasn't asking for commissions, but the very first comment was from this account, from Aragorn Ritzy. And it was very fast. It was almost an instant comment from the moment I posted. And there were other people that commented in that post of mine, but they commented like way later compared to Aragorn Ritzy. And Aragorn Ritzy commented almost immediately. And I cannot see the comment made by Aragorn Ritzy anymore because they deleted it. I think I'm gonna use it though, not they. Like it said, like I'm gonna use it and not him or her, because I'm not even sure if this is a human being that I'm talking about. But anyway, this Aragorn Ritzy said something along the lines of, "Hey, I'm an artist. I do dark fantasy art. Please follow me, and then we can talk about prices." And I immediately thought like, immediately asking for a follow and going straight into commissions, which I never asked for. So I was like, okay, let's see what you're all about. Let's see these artworks of yours. So I clicked on Aragorn Ritzy's page, and there were a lot of reposts. And reposts, it's Blue Sky's version of a retweet. So there were lots of reposts, but I didn't really read them. But I did see a lot of art, so I did check those out. And it seems like classic AI, you know? Like, it just seems to do a lot of different types of art, from children's cartoons, like furry-looking art, to realistic 3D renders, which were like super compressed and super duper blurry, like logos as well. They're like semi-realistic art, and there were painterly looking just like stuff. Like, I don't even know what you can call this. I guess this is supposed to be painterly, but to me there are always these in these artworks, and there are always these classic signs that it's all AI, like in all of them. Just like classic fragments of AI generation, and just stuff that will appear only in AI generated images. But yeah, right after I spent several minutes just looking at Aragorn Rizzi's page, I immediately replied to the comment on my public post, and I said, I don't follow AI accounts. Like, that's it. And I left it at that. And then a short while later, I saw a notification. Like, soon after I made that comment and locked my phone, I got a notification from Blue Sky, and it was from Aragorn Rizzi. So I tapped on it. But when I tapped on it, there was nothing there. It was just gone. And I don't know what it was. I didn't know what it was. But then I realized that Aragorn Rizzi's comment on my post was gone. So that meant it was deleted. You know, like Aragorn Rizzi deleted its own comment, which also deleted mine. Very convenient, of course. And it turns out I was also blocked, because I couldn't even search for Aragorn Rizzi anymore. And now I got curious. Like, wow, you erased your own tracks and you blocked me? So I used another account just to have a second look at Aragorn Rizzi's page, and I took some screenshots. So let's just have a look at these so-called artworks and these screenshots. So I'm over here in Procreate. This is what the Aragorn Rizzi's page looks like, yeah. It says Illustrator, Tabletop RPG and Dungeons and Dragons Illustrator, bringing worlds, monsters to life through art, character portraits, fantasy illustrations, and epic scenes. That's the email, aragornrizzi@gmail.com. There's a link tree over here, didn't click on it though. But yeah, that's the page. And if I scroll down a little bit, I'll see this repost, this quote repost, saying thanks to this person, Space Cadet, for the shout out. I'm honored to be creating the cover for Flight of the Mercenaries, the Syrian job. But yeah, Space Cadet commissioned Aragorn Rizzi for artwork, and this is the artwork. So to me, it looks kind of like a moon, right? Let me just show you stuff already that seems wrong. So these are like rails. These are rails. So there are these two, oops, that's too big. Okay, so there are these two glowing lights, these two glowing rails, and there's two more here. But there's nothing over here in the center in between the two, but there are railings over here. Kind of feel like there's supposed to be railings here too, you know what I mean? Like it's supposed to go across like that, but it's just not there. It's gone. Classic AI mistake. And you can tell by how the railings are the rails. Well, it's not rails, it's like wooden planks, right? These wooden planks, they're kind of making an appearance over here, but the AI decided to like nope out and just like canceled it. So it's not all there. It's just melting away into nothing. The honeycomb pattern, they don't make sense, you know? Look at this one. It's going into nothing. This one's going into nothing. This one's not honeycomb shaped thingy. More weird lines just going astray. I guess it's like the right word to describe it. It's just like lines going wild, like breaking the pattern and just going wild because the AI just doesn't understand what to do with these lines. The buildings look like pencils, ironically, even though it's made by AI. And then let me show you the repost, well, the post made by Space Cadet. I'm not quite ready to post the first few chapters yet, but I've been working on a science fantasy book by the name of Flight of the Mercenaries, and I hired Rizzi to make this cover. So Space Cadet made this post. Space Cadet is seemingly, at least, he doesn't favor AI, at least what it seems like. So look, Space Cadet made a post saying, I just started looking for cover artists for the book I'm writing and found this ridiculous offer on Fiverr. So it's an AI service starting at $3,600 with 86 reviews, by the way. Crazy. That's a lot of money. And somebody commented saying, AI, ew, and asked again, oh cool, have you found any cover artists yet? And Space Cadet said, yeah, I just found one last night. Well, this checks out because that's about the same time Arago and Rizzi posted this. So went from avoiding AI, but back to AI. And onto the next one is and yeah, from afar it looks like One Piece, right? Luffy. But let's take a closer look. And this one's like super messed up. His grin is melting into his eyelid over here. His teeth look like they're made of stainless steel. And the color of his skin is melting into his teeth. And this one like set of teeth, the upper and lower one, they're like merged together. And this tooth over here is not even a tooth, it's actually skin. And Luffy's wearing a bra over here in the center. See how many fingers? At least 5 over here. No thumb, but I guess the angle sort of supports that. But his middle finger is melting into the hat. And his feet melted together like Play-Doh. And his sandal strap is melting into his feet. Also his other foot melting into each other. And I don't understand how this happens, yeah? So if there's supposed to be no background, what's with this spills? Like, I'm even cleaning it up now. What is it with these spills that's just still there? Like, they're not even supposed to be there. Like, it takes more effort to leave this in, like, perfectly this particular width, you know, of just spills being kept consistent throughout the entire thing. That takes more effort than just to get rid of them completely. This is supposed to be maybe the client went like, I want a spaghetti and meatballs monster somewhere in here, and Aragon Rizzi went for this, which looks like a completely different style than the Luffy, well, compared to everything else in the picture. I don't know what this is. It looks like a bad dragon. And the background, the sky is there, even though the sky everywhere else is not there. And of course, the skull, the logo, is not the One Piece logo, it's something else. There's this one outline that's just spilling out for no reason. It's actually everywhere if you look. The hat is the same color as his skin, it's melting into his skin. Or it's melting into the color of the sail in the back. The shadow here, it broke off from the logo and continued down here instead of just going continuously like that. Very AI. And this one is actually a repost of somebody else's art. So, amazing character piece by Mesmer Eye. So Aragon Rizzi reposted somebody else's artwork instead of like a client testimony, but this one actually happens to be another AI account. So this is AI. So starting with the mouth, it's just like in 2 pieces like that, see? And this is kind of weird, but there being only one horn because this is AI. I guess if a human came up with that, it wouldn't be weird, but this is AI. But oh, this flame over here doesn't exist anywhere down here. And his tail ends over here, but it continues again over here out of thin air. And these are supposed to be white lines, but you know, like typical AI, there's like the full spectrum of color that you can see here. There's just lots of colors here. And that ChatGPT piss filter is just all over this thing. I don't know what this is supposed to be. I'm not even sure the prompter knows what that's supposed to be. And let me show you something cool. If you turn up the brightness, you'll be able to tell easier. Look, the outsole of this shoe is going that way, and then it just stops into nothing and melts with the shoe. So the sole over here, the heel, is not even attached to the outsole. It's the same thing over here too. And now that I've turned up the brightness, there's like an extra bit of horn that didn't manage to get colored white. That's so strange. And his hair is actually melting into the background over here. This one's a logo. There's not much to say other than the buildings are melting into each other, right? They're just melting into each other. And this tiger here, I think I'll use red for this. It's supposed to be symmetrical, but this one fur is different than this one. I mean, it's not that hard to do a symmetrical thing. You just turn on the symmetrical tool and then you draw on one side over here and everything will come out the exact same over here. I don't know what's going on with the tiger's eyes. Is it closed? Or are these supposed to be eyes? Like this sclera, the whites of the eyes? Like that. But let's say, look up here first. So it's cropped around the ear, right? So let's say this part is avoiding the shape of the ear. But this part, it's a huge crop for just a tiny bit of spills over here. So this should have been a tiny crop like that. Or just this should continue over here and then it will get cropped a little bit like this. And this one, two things weird that I'll just point out. Of course, there are a lot of things weird here, right? This collar is this shape, but over here, it ends here, and it somehow reappears down here like it's a different part of the clothing. And also this lamp attached to the window instead of the wall. But other than that, there are two things that look really weird. The first one is the gaze. This guy is looking at over there, and the girl is looking at over here. They're not even looking into each other's eyes. That's the first weird thing. And the second one is this weird, I don't know, whatever this is. It looks like she's wearing a wig, like she's bald, but it's not even touching her scalp. And I know the thing with like hair, sometimes black people have this type of hair and they take their baby hairs and they style it like this. It looks like this, right? Sometimes I'll just show you one more over here. Sometimes it just looks like this. But it's quite a repetitive pattern that you just have to keep doing it over and over. Maybe some of them might look like this. Just a single curve like that. So I don't understand whatever this is. I think it's AI. Everything in this picture is melting into each other. But the big things that are sticking out to me is the shawl or like scarf of this Grim Reaper looking character is just melting into the tree over here. And then the arm, super long upper arm, bending that way and then straight down. Like the arm just looks like that. Another satisfied client review. Thank you so much for trusting me. This one, again, another commission. Seriously, authors just keep getting scammed. This is crazy. So this is supposed to be like a motel. For some reason, the car over here is missing wheels on the right side. Also, the car over here is missing wheels over here. And there are two windows on the left side, but on the right side, there's a giant window. And then in the back, it's like the back window is split into two. All these doors are dark colored. For some reason, the lower part of the doors that are not green is more sharp than the ones above, which is super blurry looking. And this door, that's this big, ended up being this big down here. And also the sky is blue, but over here where the sky is still shown is just beyond like this electric pole and the palm tree. It's just a different shade of blue. So aside from Space Cadet, who clearly recognized AI on Fiverr when he was looking for an artist, but ended up getting an AI artist anyway. So aside from him, I saw this one other post that I couldn't find anymore because I clicked on too many comments that were branched off from other comments. And at the time, I got blocked by this Aragorn Rizzi before I even thought of taking a screenshot. So I'll just tell you what I saw. So I saw this one author mention how they were DM'd on Discord by an artist offering their services because they shared a mutual Discord server. So if you don't use Discord, just think of Discord as like a Discord server as a little community. So small ones can have hundreds of people and big ones can have thousands. And if you are in the server, you can have a look at everybody else who's also in the server. So this is like getting a phone call from a stranger and they're immediately offering you their services just because they can see you in their phone book, you know? And this is similar to what I experienced with Aragorn Rizzi, offering me services without me asking for it. And from looking at the way Aragorn Rizzi behaved, which looked like AI to me, I can see how easily this could potentially scam a lot of people. Like if these scammers reached out to a lot of people, deleting and blocking everything that might expose them, then of course I'm sure a handful of people are bound to fall for it, right? And the social media pages of these scammers will always look perfect because everything bad is deleted and blocked. And I mean like an insane amount of effort just to delete and block, because even if Aragorn Rizzi is not facing a lot of backlash because it's still a small account, you know, like 300 something followers, still it very quickly deleted, like erased its own tracks and blocked me very, very quickly. And I have a feeling that's probably AI doing all that, you know, it's not human doing that because it's just so fast. And so if you are not looking for art, just ignore these people contacting you directly, offering you their services even if you never asked for it, direct messaging you, maybe they're even emailing you, like unless you were the one who asked people to DM you directly, you know, like if you're not asking people to do that, just ignore them. And if you are looking for art and you post it on social media, like I'm looking for artists, you know, you post it on like, I don't know, like Twitter, like X or Blue Sky, then try to stick around in the comment section first before you move on to DMs. You know, you observe who's replying, what their pages look like, and then you can move the conversation over to DMs. If you're an author who has encountered something like this, or an artist maybe, wondering why authors keep getting scammed, I hope this video helped you not fall for it, you know, for these scams. And yeah, I guess what sucks to me the most is how all of these creatives, they just used to shake hands with each other and work together. And these will be people like authors, 2D artists, 3D artists, animators, composers, copywriters, game developers, like CGI people, video editors, poets, fine artists, you know, graphic designers, even teachers maybe. All of these creatives, they all used to be able to connect directly with each other, but now that AI is a thing, now that AI exists, everything seems questionable and everything is potentially AI. And AI scammers will always squeeze themselves into every little gap they can find. So now something like authors getting scammed by AI is actually like a thing, like it can actually happen. And I hate that. But what do you think? Let me know your thoughts. I always read and reply to comments, so do comment and we can talk about it down there. Also, since we're talking about AI, I do recommend you check out this one brush pack of mine called the Anti-AI Brush Pack that you can download and use to draw in Procreate and Clip Studio Paint. The link's in the description below. Is completely free. It might ask you to enter like a number of dollars for you to pay, but you can just enter 0. I plan on making this free forever, and this is pretty much a brush pack that you can use to help guard, to protect your art from AI. And I have also a video discussing how that works, like over here. You can also check it out in the description below if you want to watch it. But yeah, that's about it for this video. Hopefully this helps you. Hopefully you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll be seeing you again in the next video.